Well, good morning, good morning. Hey, it's Terry Bontemps, and it's Sunday morning, and I decided to get up pretty early because it's pretty warm here in Sacramento. And right now it's about 7:30 a.m. and it's already 90 degrees. It's overcast, and I'm working with this new selfie, so I don't want to move around too much. But there's a story in the Bible about the parable of the talents. And I'm going to read a little bit, and then I want to talk about a story, a parable of a real estate investors. In both Matthew and Luke, a master puts his servants in charge of his goods while he's on the way on a trip. Upon his return, the master assesses the stewardship of his servants. He evaluates them according to how faithful each was in making wise investments on his goods to obtain a profit. It is clear that the master sought some profit from the servants' oversight. A gain indicated faithfulness on the part of the servants. The master rewards his servants according to how each has handled his stewardship. He judges two servants as having been faithful and gives them a positive reward. To the single unfaithful servant who played it safe, a negative compensation is given. Now, what I'm doing is I'm actually giving you an overview, and then I'm going to go to a little bit of the story in details. The parable of the talents, Matthew 25:14 through 30, tells of a master who was leaving his house to travel, and before leaving entrusted his property to his servants. According to the abilities of each man, one servant received 5 talents, the second had received 2, and the third received only 1. The property entrusted to the 3 servants was worth 8 talents. Where a talent was a significant amount of money, upon returning home, after a long absence, the master asked his 3 servants for an account of the talents he had trusted to them. The first and the second servants explained that each put their talents to work and have doubled the value of the property which they were entrusted. Each servant was rewarded. His Lord said unto him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord." Matthew 25:23. The third servant, however, had merely hidden his talent, burying it in the ground, and was punished by his master. Now, I really believe that story is about investing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you about 3 investors. Investor number 1, okay, lives paycheck to paycheck. Investor number 1 lives on 100% of their income, up to 200% using credit cards. Have no money, have no savings, and their money is spent on bills. The next check is already spent. So they're basically working for money. Okay? That's an investor that invests in debt. Okay? 100% of the income is on debt, bills, and spending. I'm going to talk about investor number 2. Investor number 2 lives on 70% of the income. And you guys hear me talk a lot about 70-20-10, but they live on 70% of their income. They save 20% of their income and invest 10% of their income. Or they can invest 20% of their income and save 20%. Regardless, it's 30%. 30% of their income, okay, is in savings and investing, okay? Let's talk about investor number 3. Investor number 3 lives on the passive cash flow from real estate, rentals, income property, okay? Their money is working for them. This type of investor owns rental property. 7 rentals, $7,000 a month in passive income. The properties are paid for free and clear. There's no mortgage payments, pays no interest to the banks. No debt, pays cash. Has about $2 million in equity. Again, their money's working for them. Investor number 3 lives on 100% of the passive income from their investments. So right here, I'm looking at 3 properties, and these are model homes, you guys. And right now, it's a good time for me to be out here. No one's here. I'm not intruding on anybody. Normally, this is what happens in neighborhoods across the United States. You guys are driving through your neighborhoods and there's houses, but you can't see the value, you can't see the profits. You can't see a lot of those things. It's just like my data on my cable bill. I was told I was using too much data, and I'm like, wow, I can't see it. I don't know. So they sent me a graph, and it showed, hey, I was going over the top. I had over exceeded my data, but because I couldn't see it and didn't know how to monitor it, I was like, using more data than I should have. So with real estate, it's the same way. You look at a house, most of you look at a house and you go, wow, nice place to live, okay? Nice place to perhaps one day own some property and retire. But for me, and it's raining, oh my gosh. But for me, I look at houses a little bit differently, okay? So what we're gonna do is this. Let's imagine that all three of these houses have $150,000 value. They're all worth $150,000, and we all know these properties right here are not $150,000. These properties could be $500,000, $1 million, $1.5 million, $15 million, $150 million, okay? $150 million in Dubai. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. So again, we're talking about real estate and the real estate values. It doesn't matter. It's in your neighborhood where you live. There are houses. So what we're going to do now is let's take a look, okay, at house number one. Okay, we all are given $115,000. Okay, $115,000 is what you can buy these houses for, all three. So you either loan, given, you borrowed, you maybe inherited, or you used your 401k. Okay, to get the $115,000. So what did the investor number one do? Investor number one took this house, okay, and they took the $115,000 and they said, hey, we're gonna put it under the mattress. We're gonna keep it safe so we don't lose and risk. So what investor number one is gonna do, he's gonna flip this property to a wholesaler, we're gonna flip it to a cash buyer, okay? So for that $115,000 of purchase, the cash buyer is going to bring all the money. The wholesaler is going to try to get a $5,000 flip fee, okay, for this property. So again, the investor has to invest, cash buyer has to invest $120,000 total. They're going to sell it for $150,000, which is going to produce $30,000 of profit for the cash buyer. It's going to produce a 25% ROI, a 20% profit margin percentage, and $120,000 is going to be the total investment. That cash buyer is going to fix this house up and in 60 to 90 days walk away with $30,000. So again, I mentioned the 70, 20, 10. 70% of that 150 is 105,000. 20% is 30,000, which is the profit. 10% is 15,000 for the closing costs. And that's how that 70, 20, 10 model works if you're a wholesaler. Okay, if you're a wholesaler. So that's investor number one. Okay, the person that lives paycheck to paycheck says, hey, look, I'm going to make $5,000, but I'm going to put the $115,000 that I received as a gift or as an inheritance, I'm going to put it under the mattress. I'm just going to go make $5,000. Okay, let's look at investor number two. Investor number two here is going to buy this middle house. They're going to flip it like they do on HGTV show. Okay, they're going to invest $115,000 of their own money. They're going to sell it for $150,000. That's going to produce $35,000 of profit. So again, sell it for $150,000, buy it for $115,000. It's $35,000 of profit. That's going to produce a 30.43% ROI and a 23.3% profit margin. Again, the total investment's $115,000. So investor number two is going to make $35,000 on this middle house. The left house, the wholesaler, okay, is going to make $5,000. The cash buyer that buys is going to make $30,000. Okay. Now let's look at the third property. Okay, that's the investor that lives on 100% of their passive income from real estate. Okay, landlord again likes passive income, so they're going to buy this property for $115,000 cash. Okay, and then what they're going to do is rent it out and try to earn a 14% ROI. A 14% ROI is the return that they're trying to get on their investment. So on an annual basis, they're going to bring in $16,100 annually. Okay, if they rent their property out, this property, they're going to rent out and get $16,100 annually. That's going to be a monthly payment of $1,341 a month. So they're renting that property out for $1,341. They're going to get their investment back, their $115,000. They're going to get that back, okay, in 86 months, a little bit more than 7 years, okay? Once they get their investment back, all of their $115,000, then they have $1,341 more a month coming in, okay, that they don't have to go to work for because their money's working hard for them. Now, because they own it free and clear, because they paid cash, they now have a $150,000 asset or equity, depending on how you look at it. From buying the property at $115 and the value is $150, they initially just gained $35,000 of equity. So if you got a loan on this property for $115 and it's worth $150, you would have $35,000 in equity. But again, they paid cash. The profit margin is 11%. Okay, it's 11% profit margin, and it's going to take them 60 days to get the property rented. Okay, and what they now have is they have assets that they can pass on as they're building generational wealth. So what does this all come down to? Again, we're going to look at this one more time. Okay, if you're a wholesaler and you have no money, no cash, no credit, you can wholesale this property and flip it, the number one property, you can flip it to a cash buyer. Okay, and earn $5,000 as your assignment or flip fee in the next 30 days. Okay, now the person you flip it to, which is a cash buyer, is going to end up making $30,000 of profit on this property right here. So this is investing in the way it's done. You guys can't see this, but I'm showing you what happens on the inside with professional investors like myself. The middle property, number 2 here, is someone that's going to do a fix and flip. They're going to go in and fix it up, and you know this property looks good. I'm just giving an example. Okay, they would paint, new windows, all that good stuff. They're going to spend about 20 grand in repairs to get it in top shape. They're going to sell it for $150,000. They bought it for $115, which includes your repairs, which includes your closing costs and your offer to the owner. Okay, at $115, they're going to sell it for $150, and they're going to profit $35,000 by doing that. Okay, thus they're going to produce a 30.43% return on their investment. Then the last person, okay, last investor is going to be a landlord. They're going to rent it out. They're going to get a 14% return on their investment. They're going to earn $16,100 annually and $1,341 a month each and every month of cash flow, passive cash flow. So again, every time you guys drive through neighborhoods, okay, you don't see this breakdown, this analysis that I just did about how money's made with real estate. And I just wanted to come on here on a Sunday because I love real estate. I love going to look at houses. I love open houses, especially before COVID, but now it's a little bit different. Maybe you can do virtual houses, and you guys can start learning the values in your property so you can go out and start farming properties so you know values before you get a property. So, wow, this is pretty nice right here, okay? I love the styles of these houses. I'm gonna try a different mode here so I can pan up. Now, this is where I might lose you guys because these skills aren't that great as far as me getting this new technology. I'm gonna give it a try because I have to practice and get better. But as you can see, look at those clouds here in Sacramento, 7:30 in the morning. So this is house number 1. I really like it. I like that front door. I like the style, this contemporary style. I really like that. Okay, I don't know if I would own this particular one. It's not that great of a style, but let's take a look at the second house. Okay, it's pretty interesting, the balcony, okay, up top there, but if you're in a residential neighborhood, I think all you're going to be doing is looking at your neighbors' houses. Okay? I don't know, I don't live in this neighborhood. Brand new homes, I think their starting price is around $400,000 in Sacramento. Kind of love the door there. So again, let's take a look at the next one. Now, as an investor, you guys got to understand, when you look at houses, you got to be able to determine, okay, what the house can make, what your returns are going to be as an investor. That's what pros do, okay? This is exactly what pros are able to do. I look at this and what do I see? I see an ATM machine. I see an ATM machine and another ATM machine. These are ATM machines, automated teller machines. I think that's what ATM means. I look at it and say, hey, how could I make money? How could I make a profit? How can I build wealth from investing in real estate? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach you guys how this process is done. Most beginners come out and they want to invest in real estate, but they don't have this knowledge about how to make a profit from this ATM machine, okay? And again, next week, join me Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Pacific, my Real Talk Real Estate Show, where I talk real estate. It's real estate that you won't hear. It's live, it's real. And next week, what I'm going to be teaching you is how to make $5,000 in 30 days as a wholesaler. I've got some software that I developed. I have a mobile app called Bank Foreclosure Millionaire, and it's a desktop version also. You can go to bankforeclosuremillionaire.com. It is a monopoly type game. It's a monopoly type game where you can actually buy, sell houses, you can wholesale, you can fix and flip. You can become a landlord, and I teach you exactly how you pull money out of these properties like they're ATM machines. You can buy notes. You can borrow money. If you wanted to borrow money to buy these properties, I teach you how to borrow that money from private lenders, hard money lenders, and money partners, okay? Now, let's look at it this way also. Maybe this property right here, take for example, could be an Airbnb. Well, what does that look like when you purchase it and you rent it out maybe for $230 a night, $1,300 a week, $5,200 a month? This property right here, I guarantee you will cash flow if it's an Airbnb at $5,200 a month. Again, there's a lot to real estate, okay? I've been at this 40 years. I love it. I'm an industry expert. But let's look at it. That's $60,400 a year. That would definitely pay the mortgage on this if you got a loan. It will definitely put some money in your pocket, left over after each and every month to pay your bills, pay for your car payment, put some money in the bank, pay for the kids' college education, pay cash, pay off your student loans. Wow, pay cash for everything, okay? Again, why not let real estate pay for everything you guys want out of life? That's the way I look at this. These houses right here, when I see houses, they're meant to pay for things that I want out of life, okay? Now, let's take a look at maybe an assisted living facility, a residential assisted living facility, okay? In California, you can have 6 residents in your property without having a special permit, okay? 6 residents, elderly, seniors, okay? Military veterans, all women, all men, your choice. Now, a 2-story is normally not typical for a residential assisted living, but let me show you how I think about it. Let's say the up top area is all your living space, or it could be your living space plus the help that you have, okay? The caregivers, okay? They could have their own special area with showers, their own private room. They could possibly even live in this facility, which would make it really nice because, again, the cost of living is expensive. It's hard to find housing. So guess what you do? You provide caregivers with their own facility, their own little studio, maybe a little kitchen, or they can use a kitchen downstairs. Let's say you had 4 bedrooms downstairs, okay? And maybe those 4 bedrooms would be where you house your seniors, okay, your residents. Maybe you can have 2 residents in one room, and which is called I think it's called a group. That's not the right word, but I can't think of the right word right now. But then you have one room where someone could have their own private room. You got 4 rooms downstairs, maybe you can have 2 private rooms, and then you have a shared room on the other 2 rooms, okay? So let's say you get $4,000 a resident, and you have 6 residents in, that's $24,000 a month that this property right here, this ATM machine, $24,000 a month is what this is bringing in. Let me tell you guys, if you have $14,000 in expenses and you net $10,000, that's a pretty good business. That's a nice ATM machine. Again, you're bringing in $24,000, but you got $14,000 in labor, your cost, your mortgage payment, you're netting $10,000 a month. beautiful business model. Okay, again, $24,000 a month times 12 months, that's $288,000 that this ATM machine is going to generate for you. So again, hey, this is Terry Bond Tips. I just want to invite you again to my Real Talk Real live show, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Pacific. And again, when Terry Bond Tips, okay, is driving through the neighborhood, he's looking at these as ATM machines, okay? These properties are meant to help you build wealth, make money, care for your family so you can spend time at home with your kids and homeschool them. You don't have to send them to school, especially during COVID. Now, one last thing before I let you guys go, I will say this. During COVID, let me just switch this model. See, it changed on me, this new technology, but I'm gonna bring it back. Boom. All right, during COVID, okay, during COVID-19, 2020, this is gonna be in 2021, I believe, and 2022, that we're gonna have to deal with COVID. There are going to be owners of these properties, okay, that do not want their homes. They will give you their homes, these type of homes, because they can no longer either afford it or they choose voluntarily not to make the payments to the banks. Right now we have a moratorium. I think I used the right word. I've used it wrong before. We have a moratorium on where you cannot evict tenants. You cannot foreclose, but that moratorium is going to be lifted. And I want to tell you guys right now, there is going to be a lot of real estate that is going to be in free fall. Okay, a lot of real estate just because of COVID-19 and all the hurt and pain that's been caused by this pandemic. There are going to be people that walk away from beautiful houses like this. They have no emotional attachment anymore because of the pain of COVID. They will walk away. And if you're a real estate investor, these types of houses could be yours if you understand how to properly deal with the person that's walking away from this property. Okay, and when you get a property like this, you don't need any credit. You don't need any money. You do need the knowledge that I have and that I'm teaching as to how you're going to make a profit on these properties. Will you be a landlord on this property? Okay, will you fix it up and flip it like HGTV? Will you be a wholesaler and flip it to a cash buyer? And hell, there should be another house. That should be a house where you live in. Any one of you. If you can afford the payments, let's say the payments are $2,000 on this month. You're renting right now with your landlord, okay? I mentioned to you that $2,000 a month times 1 year is $24,000, and over 10 years you're paying $240,000 to your landlord. If you're paying $2,000 a month, you got a good job and you've been able to be stable during this COVID-19. If this person in this house decided, we don't want it no more, we're gonna walk away, and you come along because I've given you the skills, that owner can give you the house legally. This is not illegal. This is not a scam. The person that owns this house can sign it over to you. There are some issues that come with it because the bank's not going to like it. If the bank doesn't like it, they can call the loan due. Now, in that case, you need to be ready to pay that loan off. So there comes with some challenges, but I tell you what, I'd rather be paying for this and owning it than giving my landlord $240,000. The good thing about this, once the owner signed the house over to you, you can legally sell that house and keep all the profits. That's the beauty of real estate. That's a no money down. Now, again, this person may need $10,000. They may need $10,000 to get them to their next place. They're maybe elderly and they want to go live with their kids so they can be taken care of and spend time around the grandkids. They're in California right now with this house, and the kids are in Pennsylvania. And the parents, they're saying, hey, look, we're getting up in years. We want to spend time with our grandkids. So again, you could be given this house for free. You can live in it, okay? You can wholesale it for $5,000 even more on a property like this, okay? You can fix and flip it yourself. If you got some capital, fix it up, sell it, okay? Sell it, right? Or you can keep it and be a landlord. Again, during COVID, people are gonna walk away from houses like this. Number two, people have debt They haven't made their payments because they're not going to be foreclosed on during COVID, during this moratorium. So now they may owe $30,000, $35,000 to the bank. They're in debt. And they say, look, we can't afford to keep it. We need help. They don't want to go to a realtor. They don't want to expose that they having troubles during COVID and they're in financial difficulty. Me as a real estate investor, I love working with people like this. I love working with people that walk away. I love working with people that have debt. This house right here, there may be a divorce going in the family. And again, I don't wish this on nobody, but this real estate is in free fall because of COVID. That means it's falling. And they don't want to list with a realtor. Some of them will list with a realtor. Okay, that's okay. But as a real estate investor, this right here is what you guys all should be looking for. Again, this property is going through a divorce. They don't like each other. Nothing but bad memories. They started out in love, and now one's going one way, the other one's going exactly opposite. They are never coming back to this house again. They're both going to spend their days living with relatives, okay? In order to get back to some kind of peaceful mind. So they're divorcing. Well, guess what? They don't want to sell with a realtor. They're going to actually walk away from it. They will walk away from this property versus sell it with a realtor. They'll let it go into foreclosure. But again, Terry Bontemps is teaching you how to deal with people in debt, distress. They're dealing with death, and they're dealing with divorce. That is what I am really good at. I'm a foreclosure expert, and this right here is my time in real estate. I went through the 2001-11 bombings, okay? That was my first recession. I went through 2008, okay, the Great Recession. Now we are here in COVID-19, and this is the market. This is the market that we're faced. Now, a lot of you have gone to the seminars. You learned how to deal with people that weren't having problems. You were dealing in an equity market. I'm dealing in the debt market. Ideal for what I do. So again, I just want to say, hey, thank you guys for watching this. It's very valuable. If you have any intentions of being a real estate investor, I suggest you go back through this, listen to it, study it, write down your notes, because this is the most complete education on real estate investing that you will ever see. Again, you guys can't see the value. Professional investors like myself, I look at that and I said, okay, that's a wholesale $5,000 deal. Okay, or if I'm gonna give the wholesaler $5,000, hey, I can make $30,000 on that property. This property right here, I can take it and fix it up, sell it like they do on the HGTV show, and then guess what? Maybe I'll have my own HGTV show one day because I'm so good at this. And then I go here and I say, well, I'll take this house and I'll become a landlord. Right? Then I come all the way back and say, well, shoot, I might want to move in this house right here and quit renting, throw my money away so I can build some wealth for my family. Oh, man, can you guys see how much I love what I'm doing? It's Sunday. Hey, again, you guys have a great Sunday. Stay safe and join me on my Real Talk Real Estate program on my Facebook Live. Terry Bontemps, I'm going to let you in the group where I teach, train you. I'm coming directly to you. I'm coming to you as a trainer. You don't have to go to some hotel anymore. You don't really have to watch the Zooms and be in a group with a lot of people. I'm working with you one-on-one. I'm developing a customized one-on-one real estate coaching program for you. And it's free because I'm trying to help as many people as I can during this pandemic. Okay? I have a guy in Texas. He was laid off. He's behind on his mortgage payments. He's put in 300 applications. No job offers yet. He's behind on his mortgage payment. He has 2 boys that he's got to take care of. He loves the time being furloughed, but he's got some anxiety. He's got some financial anxiety that said, hey, look, man, I got to make some payments to keep a roof over these boys' house. God, I talked to him and he's joined my coaching program. He wants to now go out and look at these houses the way I do. The 70-20-10, hey, should I wholesale that? Should I keep it as a cash buyer? Should I fix and flip that? Or should I become a landlord so he can build himself some passive income so he never has to go back to work again? Got another guy in Texas. One of my students, he found a property where the owner just walked away. He's in Texas, Houston, Texas. The owner walked away and is in California right now. His property is vacant. His property is vacant because he doesn't want it no more. He didn't want to list it with a realtor. My student talked to him just the way I taught him, and he found this deal And now he's trying to wholesale it and flip it. He's using this strategy. He's going to flip it to someone. He's trying to make $5,000. Woo! Again, you guys, hey, I know I said I'm done, but man, once I get started, get warmed up, it's hard to stop. Join me. I have a game, a Monopoly type game where you can look at houses like this, make offers. Okay, you can see the amount of money you can make. The game will tell you if you're paying too much. It will tell you, hey, you're wrong. You're messing up. Your numbers are bad. You will never be able to make that profit. It'll show you how you can make money, and you'll put it in a savings account, and you'll see your wealth develop right in the game. Plus, I have a coach, which is me, built into the game. If you get the mobile app, turn it horizontal and touch a button that says click here first. Every level of my mobile app will teach you how to invest in real estate. $20. My 21 years of teaching real estate is built into that game. It's everything I've done. I've invested in 6 states. I've invested in California, Nevada, Arizona, Illinois, New York, and Florida. Buying loans from banks. Woo! All right, this is gonna be really long, and I didn't mean it to. I only wanted to do it for about 2 or 3 minutes, but I started to feel, I got the flow of what you guys need to be a real estate investor. This right here is a seminar that you would spend thousands of dollars to learn. Now, I need to teach you more because there's more to it, but I gave you everything I could to at least get your attention and hope that you see, wait a minute, I can do this. Well, Terry, how much money do I need? You don't need any money. Well, Terry, I got bad credit. You don't need any credit. Well, Terry, I don't have no job. You don't need no job. My FICO score ain't, hey, you don't need a FICO score. My credit score is only 2. Hey, you don't need no credit score. Well, I don't have no real estate license. You don't need no real estate license, y'all. Anybody can do this. If I can do this, and I only have a high school education. If I can do this, you can do this. But let me tell you about me. I'm a hard worker. Again, I'm up at 7:30 in the morning. Some of you may still be asleep, and I'm looking at real estate. I'm trying to get real estate to pay for everything I want out of life. I want real estate to pay for my kids and my grandkids, my children's children. I want to build a great portfolio and some great generational wealth so they can have nice lives. I don't want them living in poverty, okay? I want them to own homes. I want to be owners. One more, you guys, and I'm done. They say, give a man or a woman a fish, you feed them for the day. Teach them how to fish, okay? Teach them how to fish. I can't even where it goes now. Give them fish, feed them for a day. All right, give them a fish. Teach them how to fish, they feed for life. They can eat for life. Here's what I like. If you own the pond, if you own the pond, if you own the pond, you never have to worry about fish again. That's the way I look at things. I want to own that pond so I never have to worry about fish again. Hey, y'all have a great day. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for allowing me to become a better person by teaching you. And I hope that I'm making you a better person by increasing your financial education, your financial intelligence, to show you that anybody, I don't care who you are, what your age, what your gender, it doesn't matter. Anybody can do real estate. This is the American dream right here. The American dream is to own a home. And a lot of people believe that if they're renting, they can't get this American dream. Their realtor told them, hey, you don't qualify. The bank said you don't qualify to buy a home, so you're going to have to be a forever renter. Forget listening to that conventional wisdom, you guys. Have a great day. Bye.